魔兽 Dwight Howard 来台湾打球，嗨爆了！有女生朋友就问说，为什么自己的男朋友默默流下了眼泪？
是洋葱，我加了洋葱。
有网友就举了个神比喻，你能想象史嘉蕾·乔韩森有一天在好莱坞没戏约，然后跑来台湾演出《乌来国与13姨》吗？
实在太贴切了。
在美国的 podcast 节目上，就有人跟前 NBA 巨星侠客欧尼尔提到魔兽在台湾技惊四座的事，欧尼尔的态度就是I'm the 好棒棒。
There you go. Great job, Dwight. I'm proud of you.
其实 Shaq 一向就是喜欢讲垃圾话的人哦。还记得姚明刚出来的时候，侠客还被骂种族歧视。
Wang Zhu, whatever your name is, you want some of Shaq food? Come get it.
他有一个节目叫做 Shaq and the Fool， 就是专门嘲弄 NBA 球星的失误哦。在这个1个多小时的 podcast 里面哦，大概有70秒钟的时间谈到魔兽在台湾哦，那就在说，你跟一群只有170多公分的人打球，拿个30分不是应该的吗？这个联盟让我想到周六去健身的时候的假日休闲联盟。
This league reminds me of the Lifetime Fitness League.Every Saturday when I go work out on Saturday.
先澄清一下哈，我稍微看了一下网友们细心整理的资料，这边显示基本上 PLG T1 联盟的平均身高都在190公分以上哦。Sorry Shaq。至于实力哦，我们必须要承认台湾篮坛还是跟 NBA 有着般的差距哦。我们不会不承认，我们不讲好听话，我们讲实话。俗话说这个会让你生气的玩笑，通常都是真的吧？所以我们不生气哈，我们没再生气了，很开心，我们很开心 Dwight Howard 来台湾打球，这对台湾的篮坛是莫大的帮助啊，曝光度上来讲也是，但更实质的是帮助我们提升本土球员的篮球素质还有实力，这是多么好的事情啊！开心啊 ！Thank you, Dwight Howard. Welcome to Taiwan. Please stay. 好，那当然我们是可以很潇洒的看待 Shaq O'Neal 的嘲讽哦，但是事主 Dwight Howard 呢，他就跳出来直播回应哦。
This message is for Shaquille O'Neal。
那原本我以为就是2个前 NBA 球星的互喷口水哦，但是后来有观众留言建议说，你可以做这个主题看看，所以我们就认真的把魔兽的直播内容给看完了，发现啧真的是正能量啊，很符合我们在做的主题，好做。所以魔兽的直播内容大致上有几个核心讯息哦。第一个有捍卫 T1 联盟和自己队友的部分，第二个有对 Shaq 一褒一贬的部分，第三个有他捍卫自己37岁决定来台湾打球的部分，第4个有传递他人生信仰的部分。话说我在看直播的时候，不自觉的发现，魔兽怎么一边直播一边在听基督教的赞美音乐啊
I'm not angry at all. I'm not angry.
我就顺手查了一下，原来魔兽曾经说 My mission was to preach God's word in the NBA, use the NBA as a platform for God。 文章里也提到，当他犯错的时候，大家都指责说，你不是基督徒吗？当他陷入人生低潮、千夫所指的时候，当时他感觉耶稣对他说 Listen man, if the whole world hates you, I love you. Always remember that。 所以他说他把一切的仇恨都抛开，专注在跟耶稣之间的关系，还蛮感人的哦。God bless you, bro. Love, peace.OK， 回到直播。首先，他在直播中捍卫 T1 联盟和队友哦。
Do not disrespect my teammates in this league and these people in Taiwan like that. That is highly disrespectful. And it's hating. This ain't no Lifetime Fitness League. It's dudes here that are taller than me. Everybody's dream and goal was not to just make it to the NBA. And everybody not gonna make it to the NBA.But we don't need people hating on other people because they're not there.
有参加过球队的人都知道，自己受辱可以，但是队友受辱呢，这是一定要站出来的哦。那关于这一点呢，我觉得魔兽他是有做到身为球队一份子该做的事。第二点呢，魔兽用褒贬掺杂的方式给了侠客欧尼尔一个软钉子。
You too old to be hating. You too big to be hating. You supposed to be Superman, the original Superman. Shaquille O'Neal.You done did everything in life that everybody wished that they could do. They want to be Superman. They want to be you. They have wanted to be you. Until they seeing now how much you be hating on people for no reason. Come on, man. You are too old and too wise, because I know you, to be hating. And I don't even think that's hating. I think that's jealousy. And you have no need to be jealous of anybody.Everybody that you have hated on and been jealous or talked about, they have loved you at some point.
Dwight Howard 在指责欧尼尔之前呢，先是抬举了他跟他说，你看很多人把你当作榜样，很多人想要成为你，但是接着呢，马上又像是在教育小朋友一般说，你看你明明这么聪明这么棒，但是你为什么要欺负同学呢？ Dwight 甚至还打出柔情牌，要说，你我都有小孩子哦，但是你的孩子就绝对不会在电视上看到魔兽叔叔在酸自己的爸爸，这样情何以堪啊？ 他也提到 Shaq 曾经在节目上三番两次去酸 JaVale McGee 哦，甚至 JaVale McGee 的职业生涯都受到影响。
The thing about that whole Shaq and the Fool era of when I was on there is I didn't realize what it was doing to my career until I started to move on to other teams.
Right.
题外话，事后 JaVale McGee 被问到他心目中的4大球星是谁的时候呢，他还是很大方的把 Shaquille O'Neal 放在里面。
And I gotta say Shaq, yeah, because he was the most dominant big ever. I feel like.
真的觉得蛮有气度的。第3点，他捍卫自己来台湾打球这件事。
Shaq, when you was 37 years old and your 19th year in the league, because this would have been my 19th year in the league, would you have come to Taiwan and played? Would you have come and been in shape? Because I'm 265. I'm not 390 pounds. I'm 265 and I'm in the best shape of my life. You can come out here and give me 38 rebounds and 38 points and 25 rebounds. You can talk about the points all you want. You could have just said, bro, congratulations, you out in Taiwan at 37 years old and you still hooping. I'm supposed to be way past my prime, right? I'm supposed to be sitting at home right now complaining and crying because I'm not in the NBA, right? Wrong. I'm over here in Taiwan with the best fans, the best teammates, and the best people I could be with right now for my life.
我觉得这一点魔兽最狠哦，他一直强调自己没有生气哦，但是又用事实狠狠打脸了 Shaq。如果你笑我，那你37岁的时候在做什么？我现在的身体状况可是最佳状态呢，你呢
Emotional damage.
第4点，传递他的信仰观。他说他绝对不会恶评别人，因为他知道天使都跌狂，善哉。
I know that the angels is listening and they hearing everything that we say and everything that you say. So I don't want none of that, them angels to take their hedge of protection off of me for speaking down on somebody else. I won't speak down on nobody else. If you talking about you love God and you hate your brother, you don't love God because God is everything. God is all. Hating is not of God. Love is. You can talk trash, you can call me a tenderloin, you can say whatever you want. It don't bother me. Spread love, man. Keep spreading love. Keep spreading positivity.
所以认真看完了的直播，我真的是觉得他回复的，还真的蛮得体的。我们说生气就输了嘛，他没有生气，但是时而严肃，时而柔情，最后还很明确的传递出了他的价值观，硬生生给了侠客欧尼尔一个软钉子哦。如果我是侠客欧尼尔呢，我还真的不知道该怎么回应。你们呢？你们是怎么看待的呢？如果你是 Dwight Howard， 你会怎么回应侠客欧尼尔的嘲讽？赶快留言在下面跟我分享，我很想知道。最后跟大家共勉之，当有人对你冷嘲热讽的时候呢 ，Take the high road， 走高格调。如此一来，不需要多做什么高低立见。All right，see you guys next video， 我们下一部影片再见，拜拜。